How can I write a vehicle purchase off for a business? Okay, so typically you can only write off vehicles if they're over a gross vehicle weight, the GVW, I believe, the gross vehicle weight of 6,000 pounds. And there's an IRS rule that allows you to use accelerated depreciation and write off the entire purchase, but that's for rich people. And then, so if you're talking about just regular people like us who are starting our businesses, then we have to take two things into account. Because there's two ways that you deal with cars. Either you write off the mileage or you write off the expenses. You get to choose which one, and that's up to you. You can use accounts like QuickBooks to track your mileage, and you can have it just handle it all for you, or you can save all your receipts every time you're at the gas pump, or every time you get your tires changed, or every time you spend money on your car. So think about it. I recommend recording both and then giving it to your tax person at the end of the year and saying, hey, which one of these is going to save me more money? And then you can write off the expenses that way. Now, if you have like a work truck, for example, that you have to purchase in order to do business, and you want to lease it because leasing is better, not all cases, but some. That's what I did. I leased a vehicle through my company, and 50% of the time we used it for business, and so I was able to write off 50% of everything I spent on it. And so, yeah, it works. It depends on what your business is, though. It depends on what you can justify, because if you're a mobile detailer, you can justify a vehicle purchase like no problem. But if you're like a stay-at-home teacher and you just teach French on Zoom, then it's a little bit harder to justify why you need a vehicle. So it really comes down to, can you sit in front of an auditor or a judge and explain why you did what you did? And that should be your basis of understanding, your basis for making decisions in business in general. Can you sit in front of a judge or an auditor and explain why you bought what you bought? And if you can, then you're good. It's probably a write-off. But if you're having difficulty filling them in on why you brought toothbrushes, t-shirts, and soap, and you have a business that doesn't need it, you could be considered commingling assets or piercing the corporate veil, or basically using business money for personal money. We don't want to do that, because then it tears down all the hard work that we've done.